So I got to see Lewis Hamilton, George Russell, Kevin Magnussen, Nico Hulkenberg, and Alex Albon all on the same day, and this is how it happened. The day started off with me heading down to Westfield White City, where Chipotle hosted an F1 Haas fan experience where you could meet Nico Hulkenberg and Kevin Magnussen, use an F1 driving simulator, and they even had a replica car on display. Unless it was a real car, in which case it makes sense why they held this event before the Grand Prix. So I queued up, and because the drivers were only scheduled to be there between 11 AM and 12 PM, the timing was really tight. And after joining the queue at around 11:15, I finally managed to meet the drivers at 11:58. So 2 minutes before the drivers had to go. So yeah, that was cutting it really close. The drivers were also handing out signed cards in here on mine. I also got a few blank ones, so maybe I can sign them and hand them out myself. Who would want your signature though? Nobody? Yeah, tell me about it. Chipotle also had a competition where you could win free food for the next year, and I won a buy one get one free card on my next purchase. A win is a win. After that, I headed down to London to hear Logan Sargent.
It was a sergeant, by the way.
He was having a Q&A, and I was quite excited because earlier this year I was actually on a virtual Q&A with him, so I thought this would be much cooler. Unfortunately, the queue was really long, and because of the timings from the previous meetup, I arrived after the Q&A had started, so I decided to leave the queue and went to the Williams app instead, where there were prizes to be won if you went around London collecting digital items available only at certain locations. The locations were Piccadilly Circus, Trafalgar Square, and Victoria Memorial. After visiting Piccadilly Circus and en route to Trafalgar Square, a friend of mine showed up in London and said that George Russell was at the Puma flagship store, so I quickly headed down there, and to my surprise, Hamilton was there too. So that was amazing to see, and luckily after a while of waiting, they both came out to greet the crowd. They were also giving away signed posters and hoodies. Then F1 content creator Lizzie McIntosh, who was also there for the event, came out to greet fans. After that, we headed back to the Williams AR locations in the streets of London to hopefully claim a prize. This was actually a really good idea, and even though it was really tiring because the day had been so long already, it was really enjoyable. So yeah, after that little Easter egg hunt, we went back to the Williams fan zone to hopefully get into a Q&A with Alex Albon and Jenson Button. And if you look closely, you can see me right there, outside the venue. Yeah, the queue was extremely long again, so basically we weren't getting in. And that was during the Q&A, so after that we decided to head down to Green Park for the 5K run, because Alex was going to be there too, so that was going to be our chance to meet him. Once we got to the park, we were given free hats because we were within the first 100 people to show up, and after a short while of waiting, Alex showed up. And I took the opportunity to get him to sign the cap I just received, so that was pretty awesome. Then we stretched and warmed up a little, the 5K run started. But because the Williams fan zone was closing soon, we decided to head back there and not finish the 5K run. Are you sure it wasn't just because you weren't able to complete the 5K run? Maybe. Thought so. So yeah, once we reached the fan zone, we got to see some really cool replicas and memorabilia. And then because of earlier challenges, we got a few freebies. And then that was it. That was my Formula 1 day out in London. And it was quite tiring, to be honest with you.